Township Planning Commission regular meeting, January 21st, order. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Bonnie?
I sure can. Okay, Mike Walsh.
Here.
Nancy Buckley. Here. Aye, Lester here. Linda Lincoln, absent. Jim Vincent.
Here.
Marvin Roberts.
Here.
Keith Bird.
Here. Agenda in front of us. I have a motion to approve it as it's written.
I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Who did?
Mark.
Mark.
Moved and second, approve the agenda as it is. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Minutes from our November 19th meeting. There was a public hearing involved also.
Want me to read them?
Yes, please.
All right. The special meeting of the Greenwood Township Planning Commission was called to order at 7:06 p.m. by Chairperson Mike Walsh. The Pledge of Allegiance was recited out loud by all in attendance. Present were Chairperson Mike Walsh, Vice Chair Nancy Buckley, Secretary Bonnie Lester, and board members Linda Lincoln, Jim Vincent, Marvin Roberts, and Keith Bird. Also present was Zoning Administrator Jim Galleruski. 11 township residents were also present. Mike Walsh made the motion to accept the agenda, and Marvin Roberts seconded the motion. The agenda was unanimously approved. The minutes from the October meeting were read out loud by Secretary Bonnie Lester. Jim Vincent made a motion to approve the minutes with one correction suggested by Nancy Buckley. Linda Lincoln seconded the motion. The minutes were unanimously approved. There was no new business. Old business, 7:06 p.m. Chairperson Mike Walsh opened a public hearing for Matt Loxton's special land use with repair shop application. Public comments were presented by 3 township residents. 7:21 p.m. Chairperson Mike Walsh closed the public hearing. Chairperson Mike Walsh made a motion to approve the special land use with repair shop request from Matt Loxton. Roll call vote, Mike Walsh, yes. Nancy Buckley, yes. Bonnie Lester, yes. Linda Lincoln, yes. Jim Vincent, yes. Marvin Roberts, yes. Keith Bird, yes. Unanimously approved by the board. This application will be forwarded to the township board for final approval. 7:26 p.m. Chairperson Mike Walsh motion to adjourn the meeting, and Keith Bird seconded the motion. Meeting adjourned. Respectively submitted Bonnie Lester, Secretary.
Thanks, Bonnie. Any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? I'll make a motion that we accept them as they were read.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed? Okay, don't have any old business. Or new business, we elect our officers once a year. So, I guess,
I'll make a motion that Mike is chairman again.
I'll second.
boy. Moved and seconded that Mike Walsh is the chairperson for the coming year. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? I'll make a motion that Nancy Buckley is vice chair.
I'll second.
Who said that?
Marvin.
Oh, Marvin.
Moved and seconded. Nancy gets the job for another year. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? You good? Make a motion, you good?
Yeah.
Make a motion that Bonnie Lester will be our secretary for the coming year.
I second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Any nays? Motion passed. All right. Doesn't look, I guess we're gonna move right on to our, well, we're gonna talk about date. Anyway, as I think you all know, the moratorium for the data was approved by the board today at about 3 o'clock. So there is a moratorium in place. Now, we need to work on an ordinance for data. guess we're gonna do this a little different. Usually we sit up here and pass things back and forth. I think we have some information we put together. I'm gonna open this right up to citizens' comments right now. Please keep your comments to about 3 minutes or less. If it goes well, we might come back around and talk about it some more, but please address the board. Keep your neighborly talk for later in the meeting, or later at night, or outside, I don't care. But now, the meeting is up here. So I'm going to open it up at this time. We're in the process of making an ordinance for data. An ordinance, because we are a zone community, you make ordinances. If it's a legal, when I say illegal, not a legal business, but if it's a legal operation, you cannot say no. You have to control it through zoning, and that's about the way it goes. Now, the state, I hear stories, are gonna possibly override ordinances like they did with the renewable energy. Nothing is in stone on that at all. I would ask you to contact your local representative, phone call to Lansing, make your voices heard. We don't need this right taken away from us. So I hope every one of you has advice for us on what we should be putting in our ordinance. I'm gonna open it to the floor right now.
I think the biggest thing is gonna be the water to start, where they're pulling water from.
Very important.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, without water, they can't work off their own wells. They gotta have like a water line.
Right, well, especially for residents, most of us run wells on.
No, but
our
I'm
own,
saying,
so-
for that, they're so big and they use such a volume of water, it's not like they can dig a well.
Right.
So they need water, access to water line.
So we're actually between two water lines right now.
No, that's why we have a bullseye on us.
Well, that and the fact that we're a very poor township and we don't have the funds to fight them.
Well, through an ordinance,
That's
we
number
can.
one reason.
Yeah.
I've been down this road and they just tell you, well, you don't have the money to fight us. So we're just gonna bankrupt you and then we'll take everything. So we gotta make things where we make it not, try and make it so that they don't wanna look at us. Battery storage, make sure we have a bulletproof bunker for their battery storage. I mean, huge walls, huge berms, and if you wanna see how bad batteries are, I'll tell you to go down and take a look at the south end of Fort Myers Airport. They don't have a fucking clue of what to do with all them batteries. They're sitting out at the bottom of the airfield, and they have 24-hour surveillance because they keep catching on fire. And these, this is one of the worst spots in the entire United States for batteries, is right down there, and they don't know what to do with them. But they do, the new ordinances that they have are like, 15-foot walls and bomb-proof bunkers, kinda like what we put up around them 400 ton transformers over there, those are 4-foot thick walls and they're 16 feet tall.
It's
In case they
serious.
blow.
We have a battery ordinance in place.
We should
but
amend
that
it.
is under renewable energy, the state.
But it should be upped.
Talk to your representative.
Well, we've been trying to do that.
Yep.
But as you know,
We
we're
feel our
just peons,
ordinance
they
is
do
as
what they
good
want.
as it can be for considering what we have.
And it's gonna hinge on your next governor,
Yeah.
what happens with that.
Well, I hope it's Anthony Hudson. Tell you the truth.
I don't know, I'm not gonna pick one or the other, but it comes down to who the next one's gonna be.
Yeah, I was in Lansing when they did the 11-20, or the 22-23 and the 22-24, and out of Whitmer's mouth was the backwards hillbilly hicks. They're gonna have to come to the modern age because we're just gonna do anything we damn well please. So, anyway, things like that.
What would it take for them to tap into the water lines?
It's not as easy as it sounds.
I mean, can
This
you put
township-
restrictions?
They've already got contracts.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's not our water line,
not, well,
it's controlled by what, Detroit?
Great
Great
Lakes
Lakes
Water
Water
Authority
Authority.
controls, I don't know about the Flint one, who controls that, I guess the
That's
city
the,
of Flint.
the,
Well, that's,
Well, after they got done poisoning.
ain't nobody draining up that one, I don't think, is it?
I don't even know if there's water in it, but anyway.
Oh, there's water in it, but I don't think nobody's even drinking, I mean, they built it because they was in the.
it's operational.
Flint,
Well, you
you
must
know.
have to go to someone.
Yeah, she has the
approval
floor.
To tap into the water line.
Right, and this township has the, like, the DTE line that comes off the enormous water line, this township is,
Responsible
bills
for it.
DTE for, and then they pay the township. It was kind of forced upon this
But you're
township.
responsible for it, repairing it.
Yes, yes,
So you would be responsible for who could tap into it.
Well, they may
Yeah,
not tap
should be.
into that one, they may tap straight into the main line too,
yeah.
They
It
would
would be-
probably have to do that.
because they may not get enough, I
They
mean,
want a big spot.
if Detroit Edison needed the water and then they were sucking more of it, there, you know, you could end up with a low flow, so.
No, that's, yeah, whether they'll, I guess that will all be when they, if a data, we have none at this moment, come to us with special land use, this will all be discussed, you know, where do you plan on getting water? Are you gonna drill an enormous well, or are you gonna
No, we should not
tap
be
in?
held
It's hard to,
responsible.
we don't know yet.
So you would want to require them to have the land use studies and.
Oh, they can't do anything, even though we do not have an ordinance.
It
They
still
can
goes
take
through
us
the
to
process,
court.
it goes through a regular process anyway to go in ordinance.
They have to get a
So
land
it
use
has to go
special.
through this whole planning and the board and everything on top of it.
Right, I understand.
So, the big thing you gotta remember about the data centers, what Detroit is getting right now, nobody has the power to power them.
Right.
That's the big thing. The water's a big thing, but none of these plants have that capacity. The one in Detroit they were talking, which is pretty small, said it would take more power to power that than the whole city of Detroit, which is crazy. So if that power's not here, I mean, there's a lot of talk going on, but I don't know, they're gonna have to build power plants before these things come in. Because how are they gonna power them? It's amazing, it's amazing, yeah. Nobody thought of that, I guess, they just,
Is that another thing we should be trying to restrict, is power plants?
Put it on the list first.
well, before they could build one, and it's not like they can build a power plant overnight. It takes years to put one in,
Boy.
so,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think Doug brought that up at the, previous meeting, some concerns about them bringing in
Nuclear.
small nuclear reactor, or modular reactors. I think we need to
Rolled in on a
start
truck or something.
working on something
Scary.
for that to protect citizens.
Yeah.
Or they put in huge self-contained alternators, generators, large diesel engines running.
Can we
I don't know.
put in our ordinance, they have to supply your power 100%, or is that too far?
We could research it and, yes, put it in. You know, definitely need to address the whole power issue, I mean, the water, the power. The last thing we want is to have a brownout here because something's going on. Yes, we need, that's why I'm looking for all the answers tonight.
Probably large burns around the whole perimeter because of the noise levels. I mean, they can be heard
Yeah.
10 miles away pretty, 5 to 10 pretty loud.
I guess I haven't, you know, we probably would put in like, I don't know, our solar and our wind have 45, both of them have IMAX. Aren't they both 45? I think we would probably lean in that direction for the,
nearest property line.
yes.
Now-
Yeah, as far as footage, but I mean, you'd wanna burn like around that as up to
Well,
train game when the noise.
I guess
if it does
we
happen.
would make the ordinance with the level that we will accept, and it'll be up to them if they have to make the walls 3 foot thick or
Gotcha.
something, I don't know, you know, like I said.
You don't know how tall some of these are gonna be either.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the
The
thing.
sound goes around things. It
Yeah.
doesn't just
No, it
stop.
don't stay, no,
It
it
looks like all the air conditioner units are on the roof, so
That's what I mean.
that's where your noise is
So,
coming.
yeah.
They're coming up with all kinds of queer ideas, putting a blanket thing around those things, well, they'll just make the air conditioner overheat, it won't make it efficient. So they'll shy away from that if it burns a few up. One place they built a 18 foot wall, there's a cop going around taking measurements every day at a certain time and spot. And, yeah, they cut down maybe a small fraction, but the sound just went right over the wall.
Oh, yeah, sound travels.
Depends on the wind or.
Depends on the wind,
Even the
humidity in the
Right,
air.
So it's a challenge.
and then just, I've just been on the internet, you don't know if it's fake, true, or lies, or whatever, but, you know, just to, one man's living a mile away, he's got his little desolate right now. He's got his routine, and he says, I put $25,000 in new windows in my 5-year-old house, and the windows still rattle. I can feel the vibration through the wall. And I work in the factory. I had earphones, you feel for a minute, for 10 minutes, you got a headache. And you feel that in you throughout the day, but I don't notice it as work. But if I'm just at home now in retirement mode, sitting on my porch trying to relax.
You don't
this
wanna
ain't
hear
gonna get
it. You don't wanna hear it.
Because one man was sitting on his relaxing spot in his property, he says, I just sit here and listen to birds. Now I can't run away
I
from
believe
it.
in Shelby Township, they postponed their meeting until next month again on one of these, kind of a smaller version of one. So they're getting pushback on all these all over the place. We don't have anything, do we have any operating here in Michigan close to us? You know?
Operating?
Yeah, operating.
No, there's none
No.
operating in the
None in
state.
here yet.
The closest one will be up online will be when they finish Saline. Saline's already
Celine's the
broken
closest
ground.
one.
Right.
Isn't it Dundee too? There's one in Dundee, I thought.
Yeah, but it's still,
They're
has
still
broken
fighting
ground.
too.
The only one that's broken ground is Saline.
I thought there was one operating in Kalamazoo.
No, there's none operating. But they are noisy, just because of the fans. And there's all kinds of different ways for them to cool. They could build cooling towers, they could build, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. But there's things like, okay, we're responsible for the water line that goes into DTE. Granted, DTE will immediately reimburse us for it. Okay? My personal opinion is we should not be responsible for any of their water lines at all. Because if you were to break that one for DTE, I'll guarantee it's $200,000 just to mobilize a repair. That's not even doing the repair, that's just getting the equipment there. You know, so now we have something that's gonna be a burden on us. Okay, we have a budget, we have like 200 or 2 million or something like that, and okay, we could chew through that in a heartbeat, or something like that, and I mean a heartbeat. Especially,
But I still think that they're gonna have to address the power.
we gotta address
Before
that.
they, I mean, whoever wants one's gonna have to address that power before somebody gets really serious about putting it on.
No, Michigan is a bad place for power because.
Always has been.
Well, they play games with us, you know. It took, 31 years to finally get Blue Water Energy Center built. You know, I actually started my career doing Bell River and I retired at,
I worked there, yeah.
you know.
What can we do to protect our residents from getting into a situation like Saline where DTE came in and there's not even an opportunity for public contesting
Well, I hope
of the
we never
issue?
get to that. I hope we never get to that.
I know, but
Because we
that's
all
just
want
what
something to say
can we
about
do?
this.
We should at least be able to voice our concerns at a bare minimum.
Like you say.
I'm just food for
The
thought here, right? We're all
governor
trying to
is-
figure this out.
Yep,
Yeah.
you know, our governor has given incentives for these companies to come and
Yeah.
DTE is.
Somebody's throwing something out there for everybody to be suddenly interested in Michigan all of a sudden. It's like the wind and solar, when there was federal money, they were all over the place. As soon as the federal money was cut, they all kinda just, you don't hear, you still see some, but not what it was.
Yeah, so then
So I don't know if there's federal money out there, or is this promise that it's gonna be out there, but somebody thinks somewhere that some money's coming from somewhere. Because
I heard that there's approximately $5 billion been set aside by the state somehow for these things.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
But where it's coming from, nobody knows where the, accounts are coming from, but, the one up in Kalkaska, that the land was purchased, nobody knows who bought the land,
Yeah.
but it's, you know, it came from the state, paid for it. So, who knows? You know, that,
But I
Back
think,
to,
yeah, I
back
think
to
the
your
governor's gonna be.
question, our master plan does provide for the welfare, the good health, of the public, of the community.
Right.
And we are, Eric was supposed to be here tonight with some more, we're updating our master plan, we have updated it, but we're having a little situation getting totally completed.
Sure.
But when we have our current master plan in place, which hopefully will be very soon, that in itself will really put a burden on a data center. They would have to prove everything that we're saying our master plan says, they would have to prove it is okay for the residents. So the master plan is almost stronger than an ordinance.
In your language about the data centers, are you including Bitcoin mines?
That's in.
Cyber-
moratorium.
And that is in the
I know it's
moratorium.
the ordinance, I'm
Yeah.
talking to a different group, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. We're probably gonna,
Follow.
and I don't understand that stuff.
No, I don't.
No, I don't either, but-
I don't. I had a lawyer explain it to me that till you have a suppository, like I think the US has now, it's like going to a casino, you might get your money back, you might not.
It's a myth.
It's a myth, right, it don't exist, but that's another one that's way over my head. I don't understand it.
But they're just as loud as these data centers.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm
But
sure.
It's the same thing as we got right now.
Yeah.
It's fiat, it's not there.
Yeah, it's,
I
I don't
Or thing like that.
yep.
So, and then my understanding on the noise too, I guess, depending on how you define that, there's different, you know, you can say if we define that at the property line, and I think, is it 40 or 45 decibels, the
I wanna
current
see
renewable?
45.
We have 45 and other.
I guess there's different definitions though, I wanna say LEQ, LEF, where one is a more kind of an average sound and one is a shall not exceed. I think we need to make sure we're clear and concise on that.
And I believe it's the LMAX.
The LMAX is the one that.
Yeah,
can
that
never-
sounds correct.
Can't exceed that. The other
Mhm.
ones, they take an average over a week, I mean.
Right.
One day could be streaming and it doesn't do nothing for 2 days, so.
Sure.
it Makes a level.
We did put the LMAX on our
Yeah.
other ordinance.
And then I do know, on the power generation, you guys brought that up, I think it's in Tennessee right now, one of the Tesla facilities they're going after is, they brought in the diesel powered generators, well, they were running these for so long to get around the EPA requirements for air quality. So, maybe something to be aware of.
They always got tricks.
I can't imagine
seemed
how
like
big
it.
that would be to try to power one of those.
These are the kind I think they take in military operations.
They would have to, yeah,
Well-
to run a city, basically, because,
If you see what they parked down in Yale this summer, you times that by about 100.
yeah, that's what I
That's
mean.
what, that's a minimum what they
Yeah,
would.
what they would need, right, exactly.
And,
Well, I just looked up why we're looking at Michigan, is because we're a cool climate. Because whoever has a computer, you know, they run better in cool weather than they do in hot weather.
No one's
Hot
gonna
weather
contest them in
will stop
Antarctica.
them, they'll just- But, you know, in cold weather, they do real well, so.
We can move it all to Greenland.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a big country.
There's nobody there, okay, great.
You never hear them.
Help melt that ice to get down to the minimum.
Yeah, it's melting anyway.
We are looking into, closed loop cooling. I've seen quite a bit of information, and there's companies out there that's their business, is like an enormous geothermal. So it would be a confined, recirculating. It
like they have
wouldn't
the
be-
Blue Water Energy Center.
They wouldn't be drawing water all the time.
Yeah,
Once it
you got that at the
says-
Blue Water Energy Center.
They do lose water, from what I've been reading, and they've got some chemical, it starts with a C, I couldn't.
Right, there'd be no
Yeah, there has to be
discharge.
something there, yeah, there's gonna be something in that water.
And then that's
Probably.
going to be leaching into your ground, so those of you who are farmers, you just lost your property.
Well, we're gonna try to stop that.
We're gonna try to get in the ordinance, there'll be no discharge. It's gonna go right out into the lake all our water goes to the lake, so.
But if it's just a fine, then there's places that are paying the fines and just saying it's worth it.
Well, I think we can get through that without, you know,
Beef it up.
just put no, on that, no water discharge.
Well,
They-
farming community with their own wells
No.
and animals, we can't afford to have that happen, we can't, we just can't.
So that, we have
And back
looked
to
into
the
that
power,
considerably.
they've moved people like us into what used to be the buffer zone for the nuclear plant when they decided not to go nuclear, so.
So you enter the nuclear thing in and over it. Either way, I feel screwed. This is the worst decision of my life.
But the properties that DTE sold off there along that cap and everything, well, that used to be part of the buffer zone. Now,
We ain't got that long to live anyway.
You never know, you never know. How old are you?
Say,
69.
Oh, you're young.
your mom was, what, 105?
She didn't have a lot of these things put up with it.
Anybody else have any input, please?
Yes, sir. You know, I read up on this stuff, and it tells you right here too, the infrastructure sometimes leading to higher electricity bills for residents and subsidized grid upgrades. Now, that's gonna go towards our bills now, for these people to come in here and put their bull crap in.
I think they'd have
Why
to
is that?
guarantee that they wouldn't do that.
well, that would be part of the requirements that are
Right.
reliability power.
Yeah.
No.
And then, what about if there's a fire? I mean, what do? Do we call in our local?
No.
Yeah, well,
I mean, are they gonna have a self-sufficient, like an airport, they have their own fire department that shoots foam? I mean, we're dealing with something really, really toxic now, that we're not gonna be calling on Emmett, Gale, and everybody around to jump on the truck and get over there and try to fight a fire.
That's a whole other issue, is these don't really create that many job opportunities either for
No,
local
not for
residents
us
once they're
running, no.
established.
No.
So,
So,
they're running.
you know, we go through all this, everyone's property value goes down to create 24 jobs realistically, and
Even.
what does it even do for our,
And do they even
you
live?
know, the
there?
taxes for the area, yeah.
when probably the construction comes from their own crews, wherever they come in
Mhm.
from, and the people that work it are their own people, wherever they come in from, so. I
Most of the construction around here would be done by the local unions, just because of the size and scope of that. There'd be no way it could get built without being union.
Right,
So it's gonna be people like me that would be building it. You're at the top of something like that, it's Celine, with what I've been from the meetings is, at the heyday, there's gonna have 600 guys down there, but that's gonna be for about 2 months' time. And then when that place is complete, it's gonna have 36 people total on the books running for Celine's property. But it's all short-lived, all these, you know, they make it sound really good, it's not, you know, it's like all the guys are building a solar farm right now. When that's done, it's done, okay, how many guys are gonna be out there? 12. So the big opportunities for jobs is not gonna be here.
No.
But as far as, you know, things like, being responsible for the water, I would say they're responsible for everything on their own water from the tap on in, because like I said, we go bankrupt if they blow a leak. It's expensive on a 2-foot water main. And I mean, you know, you figure you're gonna get 20 guys to take and mobilize in the middle of the night, plus you gotta have all this equipment brought in. You're gonna have the guy go drive over to Zug Island or over to Saginaw to get a saddle for a 2-foot line, you know.
It's hard to say how big a line they need, because the one going to Edison, what we determine, if it's 54 inch.
54 inches is the main run, that's a 2-foot line coming into Edison.
No,
54 inch
into Edison,
coming in.
No, it's only a 2-footer.
running from the 10-foot line.
When we dug it up, when we put the peaker units in, we almost hit it. It was only 2 foot diameter. Because
It's only 2 foot coming in off
And
the
a foot to the hydrant, off the 2 foot.
It's only 2 foot from the hydrant out there.
yeah,
So where's
From the
the,
main 10,
Why do we keep hearing 50 inches?
yeah,
never
cause
heard it before.
it's only a 2-footer, cause
That's probably what they need.
Where that 400
You can move a lot of water into it.
where that big ass transformer is,
Yeah.
just to the west of that. That line was supposed to be on the other side of the street, it wound up being on this side of the street, so when we were digging that foundation for that big transformer, we damn near hit it. That was one of the big oopses over there.
It's down 12 feet or something?
No, it's not that deep, it's only like 8 feet down.
Eric was there when they were digging under it,
Yeah, Eric spent a lot of time on.
trying to find it, they couldn't find
couldn't
it.
find it.
Couldn't find it. And I
Yeah.
thought,
But
Bill Dieter, the one that remembered working
Where it
on
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was 12 or 13 feet or
They
something.
want, but
deeper than they thought.
they want to put under, they wanna run the lines under it, electrical lines under it. I talked to a lady from DTE who called me who didn't have a clue. I said, I got nothing on that. I don't think anybody around here knew, except for maybe Bill Dieter, yeah. Cause Eric couldn't find it, they were looking for it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Several days.
Spent a lot of money.
All them guys with their little gadgets couldn't find it.
Uh-huh. They're never where they're supposed to be.
No, no.
Cause if you look at the as-built on anything, we always call it, funny papers.
Mhm.
But no, that one's only about 8 feet deep at the transformer. And it's only a 2-foot diameter line. And it's only like 3 feet to the west of that transformer. I put all those peaker units in, the transformers and the relay yard. And that was back in,
They should have asked you where it was. They had a hell of a time finding it.
Hey,
Been a lot of
Billy
money.
Dieter came over to do it?
I don't know, I know Eric was out there trying to, the guys,
I don't know
all
why
the
Billy
utility
would know,
guys
'cause he
couldn't
was
find,
just
they
a
couldn't
rock
find
master.
it. They kept digging holes for it where it was supposed to be and it wasn't there.
Yeah, well, that's probably because like I said, the as-bills aren't accurate. It's just like the as-built for going across my property with the, telephone lines is not accurate.
Not where it should be.
It's nowhere near, because I grabbed the whole of it and yanked it out of the.
I did in my house.
Another
too.
question, another.
Another thing they don't bring up a lot is all the lights they have. I mean, it looks like, depending on how tall it is, it looks like a lit up casino in the middle.
We will probably work in some kind of
And
height.
that's something to add in.
We'll have a height in our
No,
zoning.
the lights.
The lights.
The lighting.
The lighting.
Yeah,
I
these
don't know,
places
like
are.
I'm at a Walmart or
Right,
something.
you don't
You
need
know,
to turn
I
And
your
the
don't-
next
lights on in your
field
house at
over, I
night.
got
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
cube of lights.
You're on gear all night.
Yeah.
Well, they
I have to
could.
use lights in my house.
You know, they are very, what I've researched a little bit, very secured areas. I don't know whether
Yeah.
they're afraid
They
of.
got cameras everywhere.
Yeah, cameras, and it is a lot of lighting, it would have to be directed, we have to have control of that.
It's like I see the lit up area at the solar panels. Right now.
Oh, there's no.
Right now, oh, that's the construction site.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
we
you
turned
still-
it off on the weekend because I complained.
You know why? No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. Why?
The generator ran fuel and solar thing,
Oh.
didn't take over.
Well, yeah.
My daughter cleans the trailers, and she went and cleaned the trailers, and everything was froze up.
Yeah, that whole trailer area is just right.
So hopefully the sun's out Friday.
Huh?
I said, hopefully the sun's out Friday when it's 7 degrees.
Probably will.
One more question.
Dwayne.
Section 43, your penalty for violations of ordinance for the infraction, $500 ain't nothing.
No.
Why don't you guys change that to maybe 500,000?
What do you?
And you might be able to keep these guys out.
On the moratorium.
On the moratorium.
I guess I haven't even looked at it.
Huh?
I think on the back
There's
page.
about, yeah.
Back page, sorry.
I mean, it's $500, $500, that's nothing, you know? One year.
We do.
Say,
Section 43.
All violations of this ordinance shall be municipal civil infractions.
I mean, I don't know who your lawyer is or who you guys write this up, but
Well,
it just get
they
with
use
time.
Brockways.
Huh?
They use Brockways.
Well, that's not, $500 ain't nothing,
Right.
you know?
Especially for companies like this.
Well, yes, exactly. What they're offering for the land, that ain't nothing to them.
Yes,
We can set something in that ordinance when we get to it. This is just for the
Moratorium.
moratorium.
What, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, no, that is
I mean,
crazy.
$500 ain't nothing today.
No.
you gotta make them hurt if
Huh?
they're gonna.
You gotta make it hurt if you're not gonna stop it.
Yeah.
You know, or,
Just be the mount up the fly in the ointment, no.
I mean, there's probably other things in this whole thing, but, you know,
Well, and I
whatever.
don't know too, it also says, as provided by the Michigan law or township ordinance by Michigan laws, I don't know what there may be a maximum on the law.
Yeah, good.
Gotta be more than $500.
Well, that's what that one guy
Well,
was
that's
saying
for
to
just
charge.
regular moratorium.
I think it's for the moratorium, I think, not the
No,
actual
but-
ordinance.
It's not.
You got the moratorium setting up the rules, right?
No,
No,
moratorium, just
moratorium,
stop it.
it-
They can't apply for anything in the moratorium.
Right, it basically tells you, we're working on an ordinance, and we got so long to get.
We got a year.
Maybe we
Right.
could
So,
revise that.
is the data center ordinance gonna come from this board or the normal, the planning? How does that?
We will,
sorry.
This board generates it.
This board generates it, the other board approves it.
Approves it.
Okay.
we will approve it, we will vote on it, we will have a public hearing, we will vote on it after the public hearing. So, this is our finished product, and we present it to the full board, and then they will say, we like it, or you need to work on this or this. It'll go through our planner, our attorney, and
Just cause I know it's been brought up and we've been working on this for a while, do we have a vague ETA on when we expect that done?
Which one?
The data center, the actual ordinance.
Well,
I mean, I know with the moratorium just going through today, I'm sure that kicks that can down the road a bit, but.
Well, we have a year to work on it.
we're basically, it'll
They
be,
just started today.
at this point, that's why we're looking for information. We
Sure.
will, a lot of us,
Okay, so-
all of us, look, use data, looking online to find anything we can. We will probably, by the time we're done, we'll have 10 ordinances from different states or anywhere we can find them. We'll get their ordinances, we will compare, and yes, we want this, we'll write that in, take it right word for word from another ordinance, or we'll tweak it a little bit. That's
If you were-
basically how we wrote ordinances.
If you are interested in seeing what's out there, as we're trying to put stuff together, it'll take a while. The state of Virginia has several data centers there.
Yeah.
And
Data center
they have
corridor.
a lot of stuff on the internet for you to look at and read over, so it gives you an idea what's out there.
And is it Pennsylvania or Virginia? They've had data centers for years.
Yes.
And they're getting so many that they're redoing their ordinance.
Yep.
They found it's not quite up to where they want it. So, I mean, there's information out there, but it's more difficult to get than
Sure.
the other stuff. When we did the marijuana for, how words on that?
Caregiver.
Yeah, the caregiver marijuana, there was, Sonia, just every week she was giving us, flooding us with ordinances and ordinances of other areas, and we just kind of bits and pieces, put it together. The
York
planner-
County, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
York County, Virginia, prepared this, it's a model, is what they have put together is, because they, as the data centers come in, they keep revising the ordinances, and this is gonna be their model to use in the future, so it's gonna be a good read for us as well.
So do you also work with Brockway and Pinocchio, at least just?
Kenoki just did a more,
They're doing all the
Kenoki
same
was
things.
supposed to vote on a moratorium last week, I don't know if they did. They were supposed to vote on it at the last board meeting. We just started, and I work for them too, we just started, like, putting it together, we have kind of a rough idea, but they don't have a finished one yet, but they are working on it. But there's a Kenoki's a whole different
I think
world.
they've got like
I don't know if they voted on the
120 days.
moratorium, but they were supposed to bring it up at the last board meeting last
They
week.
got 120 days,
I don't know what they
but
did.
that just sounded kinda short.
No.
I know Grant Township is working on an ordinance right now. They're leaning towards light industrial, allowing it only in light industrial. We're thinking more industrial only, which would put it right by DTE.
Yeah, original 6 square miles.
Well, it would be even smaller than that.
Now, yeah.
Yes,
Now.
but it's not.
No, because the zone around is out.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many acres is it, or how many?
There's not a whole lot more, well, because at this point DT owns it all, but we gotta provide a place,
For it.
and we feel that's the less populated area of the township. That's kind of where we're leading, is industrial only, because everything you read on it, the power usage puts her right in the industrial class, I feel.
And even the assessor did some research on that, and that's what he determined it should be.
Should be also.
Industrial.
Industrial.
Okay,
Industrial.
other
Is
things that we
that,
should,
Fisher Road, is that what they?
No, the industrial would be where
Where-
the footprint of where Detroit Edison is.
Not 6 mile radius of that.
No,
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 no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
6 miles
Smaller.
that they were originally in.
Yes.
Okay.
So, wait, I'm sorry. Are you coming to Kilgore into DT? Is that where they're planning on putting us at? As you enter through DT off of Kilgore, is that where it's gonna be at?
That's gonna be.
That's our industrial area.
That's the industrial area. That's
But
gonna
it would be
Also,
about
That's
the
gonna be
Norman
solar,
Road.
that's gonna be all solar there, as you drive in.
It's gonna be, most of it's gonna be solar
Already
on the
is.
west side.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
It-
don't have any data sending anything coming in.
Yeah, we have there's
There's
nobody
nothing out
here
there.
even inquiring.
No, we're trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Right.
But that would be where our industrial is, about Kilgore and Norman and kinda to the west. And DT owns all that property, so they would, I don't know, maybe they put the data center in, you know,
Except
but
if they try to
we
put
gotta
it
provide a place,
too.
and that's where we feel, doing our research is, if they can fit it in there, maybe not, but we gotta provide a spot.
Other things you should be considering is total containment. All right, if they bring in backup generators and they all of a sudden spring a leak, is it, you know, they have to contain it on property, just as if you were a big refinery, or if you do have, trash that's being generated of any kind where it's gonna be toxic, they have to have it 100% confined to their property, and that doesn't become a burden on us. These are, you know, even building it, working at DTE, it's almost impossible to pollute anything because, you know, their standards are pretty high. Okay, I gotta say that good about them, the politics suck, but they're really great at building. So things like, when you're building concrete forms, the form metal has to be edible. You know, and it really does, it's like, okay, but, you know.
No, they would probably figure they're paying the 2 mills, so they get garbage pickup. They get
Yeah.
like all the residents.
But they still being totally
Yeah.
confined on property.
So that would be something
Any-
we should
Any possibility
look
of
into,
spillage
any-
or
yeah.
overflow or whatever they're gonna be
I'm sure
using.
that other state that's had them is gonna address a lot of that,
Well,
cause they've had them.
A lot of things, but we still have to take a look at it ourselves, because, you know, what's good for, you know, if you put a data center during the old Studebaker plant down in Detroit, that's a totally different set of rules and
Right.
things down there, because, first of all, that place is contaminated as all get up to
Yeah,
start
good-
with, so
good
you're not
place for
worried
it.
about. And they're close to the water supply, they're close to everything.
But they don't have the power.
No, they don't have the power, but
And
they'll
that's gonna be a
figure
big
out
thing.
something, and, you know, I'm afraid that we're gonna be running with 500 diesel generators sitting up here, and, you know, they do have a natural, well, there'll be natural gas generators, because you do have the natural gas lines that are running up here. You know, and it'd be nothing for them to get consumers to drop in whatever for, was it 17 miles from their, underground storage facility there on Whale Center Road? That would be nothing for consumers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Columbus Township's got a lot of it,
Yeah,
all the caverns underneath.
yeah. But, you know, just being totally contained of anything that can possibly go wrong there. Any kind of explosion, any kind, you know, like you said, fire control. We do not have anything that's gonna be able to withstand it. And now you're talking about exotics such as lithium and stuff like that. Lithium burns at 5,000 degrees, not 1,500 degrees like a
And
nickel.
water helps it, it burns better with water.
Yes, it does, and if it's got salt in it, it's even better.
It's even better, yeah.
But there are different types of lithium.
Huh?
There are different types of lithium batteries.
Yes.
Some are highly flammable and some are not.
There's not a single lithium battery that's not flammable. When they all catch on fire, they burn it over 5,000 degrees.
we could be in it just like where that train tipped over down.
To give you an
North
idea how
Carolina.
hot that is, and actually acetylene torch.
Like
is
Greenland
1,500.
sounded better and better.
So I think a whole other issue is gonna be what's gonna happen to the residents directly impacted, you know, tax and property values. You put one of these in their backyard. I don't know what that looks like or what can be done from a ordinance standpoint, but I think that's a major concern for everyone, obviously.
I think that's where the master plan comes into play.
Yeah, we gotta get our master.
Next, I mean, obviously, like Dwayne said, the money they're offering is just crazy to some of these farmers, and everyone else's tax values shoot up, your property value drops when they put one in there.
You know.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, I'm very
funny where
concerned
people
about it.
build, you know, what, or build or live. I had a person here a while while ago was complaining about, they just moved here a few years ago, and they were saying, well, they was against renewable energy. And I says, they only live less than 2 miles from that great big smokestack. I says, you moved here, that smokestack's been there over 50 years. It was, you moved here and bought a house here. Did you look at that smokestack and say, oh, I don't wanna live here? No, you bought a house 2 miles from it. So people, time seems to change their way of thinking or something.
Well, when you read up on that smokestack, it was meant to be a backup plan, not a run every day.
Right, but still, it's
No.
there, so, you know,
I've accepted
People-
that portion of the life, but this is the new portion I'm trying to accept.
I've lived here for a long time, that smokestack for 50 years. But, I get, all right, so we're talking property values.
Yeah.
The fantastic amount of money, I wanna do a survey. I think most of you here pay Greenwood property taxes. Suppose data center comes in, and we approve them, they build this enormous building, we got so much money, all your property taxes are cut in half, they pick up the rest.
Not
Would you
worth
still say yes?
No.
They pay 100% of your property
No.
taxes. Okay. End of the
If you
survey.
gotta pay that much, you gotta pay buy anything like that.
Never happened.
No, I just wanted to see if it was a price, if you would.
Well, why don't our property taxes go down right now?
Or let's.
Well, we don't have a data
watch
center.
Provider on
We don't have a
this
data
one
center.
with us and have them
I,
look at
my
that.
taxes is going up over the farm, and I got a power line that's feeding these windmills and all this shit.
Well, that's.
And my taxes ain't going down. I got a 200-foot easement that I can't build even a fence on that thing, but I still gotta pay that same tax.
Same property tax, well, that
Why
would be something
ain't,
to
why
bring
ain't
into the assessment.
ICC being taxed with that 200-foot easement instead
But-
of me?
I guess, I believe you were compensated for that going through your property.
Now, with what my taxes are going up, it's
Well,
gonna
everybody's
eat,
taxes are
eating her
going
up. Year by year.
That's something we can put in the ordinance, they have to be responsible for the transmission lines and all that. It's-
And then they just,
Yeah.
We can put that in there.
then they just pop up someday, one day don't even notice you. And
Well,
put
they-
a bunch of mats down that go across it.
I don't have any through my
I
property,
know,
so
you
I
guys
don't
don't have
know.
nothing against it.
They all have right of ways, I know that.
But I know they do, but it's just like when they come through there, they didn't give a shit about your land a bit.
Oh, I know.
It
Yeah,
dragged
they're-
the cement trucks through 3 foot with like a D9 cat, those are just pulled them on through.
Two choices, we can push you or pull you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, to this day, you can't grow nothing on that
Oh,
area.
no, that compaction will
This
be there for your
compaction's
life.
unbelievable.
Yep,
I
I
couldn't
agree.
even hardly pull a 4.2 subsoil dealing with an 8630 tractor.
Close your eyes,
Brought
and
it
if
right
you
to
went
a
across
stop.
it, you'd know the tractor would tell you.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just unbelievable. And then they, you know, well, yeah, they pay you at a 1099 you for everything they do. And
Yeah.
you don't get make,
And
you don't
nothing's
get
free.
It's a
You
joke.
know, and if you didn't agree,
It was
they
gonna
would
be,
take it.
it's the same thing with this data center, it's gonna happen, I'll guarantee you it's gonna happen. The
I,
government's gonna say, no, they're coming in.
oh yeah, they,
I have
The
almost
crazy
got
rich
it.
is gonna do what she wants.
well, eminent
Well,
domain.
You ain't gonna have
Yes,
that much
exactly.
longer.
I-
It's gonna
I
hinge
hope
on
I'm
your
wrong,
next, your
but-
next governor.
Yeah.
There's been a
Whoever the
lot of
next one
people's
is.
lives have been disrupted because of that kind
So
of
I
shit.
guess,
She's gonna run for
since we're on that
president. She's gonna be
topic,
president.
Jim, you brought up that, I think it was a House bill that was in the works right now. I mean, what's this board currently planning? What's kind of the outlook on that? Or is that part of this master plan in the works?
We're gonna zone as if it didn't exist. That's the same thing we did with our renewables. We were, I guess, trying to rush our renewables ordinances in. At the same time, well, the state's gonna take it over, the CREO will be in effect, and why bother? Oh, he says, no, we're gonna do what we feel is wanted of us, and we did, and we still have our ordinances in place. We did not bow to the CREO, so to say. Yes, they could come in and demand, but so far it's worked.
The federal money, once the federal money dried up, that was it.
Yeah, or that, but the data is.
So the data's a brand new thing, brand new.
Data
There's
won't
federal
be
money
federal
there.
money.
What's that?
The data won't be federal money other than the initial coming here, but the, as far as building them, it's gonna be the tech companies themselves. Because, you know, you can bankrupt the US government building the tech companies, these data centers here. Some of these are gonna be $34 billion. One down in Saline, I think they said was $9 billion.
Isn't that bill, when you read it, Jim, I read it too, it's gonna be mainly for industrial
was just for
zoning,
construction.
isn't it?
Right.
Oh.
It has to be industrial zone, but they take away the township's rights.
Right, but we're still gonna proceed forward,
It's
I
just like
guess.
2A or
Well,
233.
We
Right.
gotta keep fighting.
Yep. That took in all land, the 233, but I guess there you go, you know, a phone call to your rep,
It's been doing.
Do you remember
Visit the
which House bill that was, Jim? I'm sorry.
4085.
4085. Thank you.
The other thing is, President Trump supports data centers too.
Yeah.
But you don't want a window
Could be a
in front of
major
Mar-a-Lago.
But he is pushing that they have their own energy source, so not to drain the people of the area they move into, so that's not a have to, but he's kind of recommending it, so.
I think Greenland's the best idea of all.
Oh, yeah.
But, I guess really,
Canada's
they should be
cool.
in this country rather than in China.
Right.
Or India.
Yes, yeah.
But, I guess that old, not in my backyard.
Well, there's a place for everything, it's not an open farmland. You know, that's all there is to it. If you want the solar panels, put them on the roofs of the buildings downtown. Great.
Detroit wanted them, they wouldn't put them in Detroit.
Yeah, because of theft.
They would steal them, right, they'd steal them, pass
Oh,
them,
yeah.
put them up.
Trust me, I know all about that. They come up and they tell you, we're gonna rip you off tonight.
Yeah,
And you come in the next day and everything you had was gone.
yeah, you know.
I mean, that's a given. It
I think
doesn't-
you've pretty much seen the end of your solar, wind, I don't know, but the solar had really died out. Once the federal money went away, then that was it.
No, until you get another Democrat.
Well, and remember, solar and wind are the most inefficient, stupidest way to make electricity that there is. And they're not subsidized, even in Texas, they're not subsidized, they don't make anything. It's like putting money into a bank to get money back out, it's like, huh? They're not self-generating in Texas. Even Colorado's got thousands and thousands and thousands. They don't really make money unless they subsidize.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It takes 10 years of one turbine to pay for its own.
Yeah, and then it's worn out.
After
It's
been
worn
put
out,
up.
and they gotta replace it.
With just general maintenance.
General maintenance, right. So it's not an answer to generate power. You can't keep going in that circle.
So it might be green energy, but you're just wasting a lot of other energy to keep it.
They're
We're
not
buying
even
it from
green,
China,
they're not
put a new
petroleum.
coal plant, coal plant a week. In China, we're buying everything from China for a solar farm, wind turbines, and they're putting coal plants in every week.
They don't have a single solar farm, or windmill farm.
Oh, no.
They have the world's largest solar farm.
They're sending it all over here.
In the desert.
Yeah, they're
right?
sending it all over
They're
here.
building a bunch of mini reactors now, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Nuclear reactors, modular ones, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you figure the number one producer of windmills, the whole world would have some. They don't have a single
No,
one.
they don't work, that's why. They're not efficient.
But anyway.
Well, we got a
the-
lot
the
of
biggest thing is just-
information, I guess, we're gonna try to put something in order, we'll be working, we work ourselves at home a lot. The next meeting will be in 3 months. Unless there's a reason to have a soon meeting.
3 months.
3 months, it's April, I had it wrote down somewhere.
I
It'd be the third week, the third Wednesday of April, like maybe the 21st, maybe, at 7 p.m.
15.
16?
Tax day?
15.
15.
15.
Tax day.
Yeah.
So, tax day, oh my.
Yeah.
Everybody's a good man.
Don't get me started on tax.
You also make it,
I feel like crap.
you know, ordinance, we can put water testing for the community or for township, I want things like that.
Things like that,
That way,
to test the wells and stuff.
What, we should test ours or test theirs?
They test
Yeah.
ours.
They really want that to be done?
Yeah, I want our wells tested.
I guess,
That makes me
maybe
nervous.
we should almost do it voluntarily. You know,
Yeah.
If we're gonna limit the discharge, not allow discharge,
Yeah.
I don't know
What's
if
that?
they'd be
I think
getting
no, it needs to be up.
what we can.
Well, I don't wanna give the state any ammunition.
They're already wet or second.
I know.
Right.
guess we almost wanna word that, if you choose, contact them or something. Depends on the location.
There should be no
We'll have to
discharge
word
of
that
any
one.
kind.
That's a good idea, but
If they're going closely,
I don't wanna give
those
it to
are
the
cooling
state.
towers.
Like, they wanna take our wells away, or the sewers, or something's away, and, well, do they?
You got anything more to add, Jim?
Is
Got a
there,
lot of research to do.
Yep.
is there a link to that site that has the Virginia data on it that you can put on the, website?
A couple of these. There's six.
It's just York County Planning Commission.
Because, yeah, you really gotta look at somewhere where they've been to find out what problems
Yeah.
came about. There's such a new thing here in Michigan, it just, nobody knows what the problem's gonna be yet.
Yeah, it is, it's a lot better if you can look at somebody else that has gone through it, and maybe the first time they didn't do a really good job and things didn't work out well, so the second time is gonna be better, and then the third time is gonna even be better. So we can use what they've gone through, because they're,
It's kinda like a basic start.
yeah, that's what they called it, it's a data center model ordinance, so other people can use it too. I think they're quite proud of the fact that they're the trailblazers for the United States,
Well, it's good to
basically.
share, that's what I was asking about, even between our
Yeah.
townships and the area.
Most of the time, they do share stuff back and forth, so it's, just makes sense.
Well, this will give us a couple months to get through.
Yeah.
The planner will come up with. I hope so.
Well,
So,
I think we've discussed it, we've got a lot of ideas, we're gonna be doing some research, and I guess we'll say it's 7:58.
3 minutes is up.
There you go, yep. I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Done.
they probably want to put these chairs